Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Or if this is your first time, welcome to my channel.
Yeah, sorry about all the it'll get better throughout the video and hopefully in my future videos. Thanks, bye.
So, I'm gonna talk about a couple things in this video. First off, if you've been following me for a little bit, you know that I usually rarely get on camera. But that's actually changing because traveling history is now gonna be the seasonal ranger. So I am making this channel because I will actually be embarking soon, maybe by the time that you see this video, to my first real job with the National Park Service, which I'm really excited about. So I just wanted to make this channel into something that reflects my passion. Not only do I love traveling and not only do I love history and going to parks and stuff like that, but I love being a park ranger. And honestly, there's not a lot of info out there on like how to become a park ranger and the ins and outs, especially when it comes to the federal government. There's just so much you need to know, and I've been lucky enough to get a lot of information from people who are already in the Park Service, but most of you guys aren't going to have that opportunity. So I'm making this channel to teach you guys how to get into this profession and make a career out of being in the outdoors. So yeah, stick around, and we're going to learn about how to be a park ranger. Okay, so there's actually a lot of different ways that you can get into the Park Service, whether it be your local county parks, your state, or the federal government. So I'm going to talk about how I got into the Park Service and a bunch of different avenues that I know how other people have got into the Park Service. So first off, how I got in, probably the easiest way that you can get into any Park Service is by starting off as a volunteer. Volunteering is really important to the park system. Parks are definitely underfunded, so any type of volunteer work helps the park so much, tremendously. Volunteers are such an asset to the park system, whether it be the state, local, or the federal government. So not only is it a good way for you to get into the park system, it's a really good thing overall for parks. I would say if you have a state park nearby, look into a state park first. That's what I did. First I started off on weekends because that was all I could do. And I worked 8 to 9 hour days. Then the babysitting job fell through and I found myself with 7 days a week of nothing to do. So I started volunteering 4 days a week. In about 6 months I did 500 volunteer hours. So obviously not everybody can do that. But I would say if you're in school, like in college, or maybe even high school, do as much volunteering as you can if you don't have to work. If you're in college or high school, maybe think about doing online classes. They suck, trust me, I know. I've been doing online for like about half my college career and it's the worst, but it really opens you up to a lot of free time to start any type of professional development. So I would definitely consider that as an option. And if you're not in school, if you do have a job, you know, just do what you can. Anything helps and you're getting experience, whether it be 2 days a week, 4 days a week, or 7 days a week, you're getting experience, and that's what matters. So after I volunteered for about 6 months or so, I ended up being promoted to a paid park ranger. But I'm going to talk about a couple other options before I get into that. Another option that you could do, it technically also falls under volunteer, but camp hosting. Camp hosting is you have your own RV, van, whatever, like you have your own house on wheels and you live in the campground and you take care of the campground. It's not a lot of responsibility, so it opens up a lot of different free time, but if you want to be a camp host, you can also, I'm sure, offer volunteer services throughout the rest of the day. another option would be AmeriCorps. So AmeriCorps is kind of like a volunteer organization. Most of the time you're still gonna get paid, but it's more like a living stipend rather than a paycheck. So AmeriCorps is like a group of 10 or so people, and they work together usually in parks, and they get housing for the most part, and they get your living stipend, so food and any other stuff that you want to do. But you're doing really hardcore like maintenance and trail work and all sorts of stuff, like, and living in parks. So that's a really good experience. I'm going to talk more about that in an upcoming video, because if you've done enough AmeriCorps hours, you can get considered for a special hiring authority with the federal government, and that's going to give you a lot of leverage to get a Park Service job. So stay tuned for that. If we skip past the park ranger stuff, then I ended up falling upon an organization called the Student Conservation Association. So this is mainly targeted towards college students. They also have programs for high school students that are way shorter, mostly for summers. And then I've heard people as old as like 60, 65 being a part of this organization. So look into it. Yeah, so the Student Conservation Association, I have done 2 internships with them. The first one that I did, it was a temporary 2-month thing. I was doing a lot of social media intern because it was the winter time, so no one was really coming to the park. But I also did a little bit of visitor services, and then I helped out with some programming that they're gonna be doing in the summer, and just a couple other housekeeping type of stuff that they needed. So it was an amazing opportunity, and I lived in such a beautiful place. Like, I miss it every day. It was just so great. Definitely recommend SCA for getting your foot in the door, because that definitely helped my resume a lot that I worked at a national park site. The other SCA position that I did, it was a AmeriCorps and SCA partnership with the state and national parks of Massachusetts. So unfortunately, that program was cut short due to, oh, can't say that on YouTube, to the virus. And so yeah, I didn't get what I wanted out of it. It was supposed to be 10 months long, and about 6 weeks in, we got sent home, and it only was because of that. And so obviously that's really rare and not something that's going to be happening. I got so much training that's really great for my resume. I got wilderness first aid certification, CPR certification, lead safety training. I got historic preservation training with the National Park Service. Like, I got a lot of really good training, and then I got a lot of like maintenance training too, like masonry, carpentry, and window restoration. It was a historic restoration corps, if I forgot to mention that. So definitely look into the Student Conservation Association. That'll definitely help you get your foot in the door with either state and national parks especially. If you're looking to get into the federal government, you can always apply directly with like little to no experience and give it a shot. Go for the lowest pay grade that they offer, which is typically a GS3. And I'll go into pay grades more in future videos, but apply to GS3 jobs. They don't require that much experience, but they also don't pay very well. So if you are a college student or a recent graduate, you can also try applying to their Student Pathways program. That's a really good way to get your foot in the door as well. It's basically an internship, so I don't think that pays very well either, but don't quote me on that. Or if you're looking just to get specifically into the National Park Service as like an end goal, start your way in the state parks. That's what I did. That's definitely a good stepping stone, because you're gonna get a lot of experience working in the state park. Between volunteering and working there as a park ranger, I had over a year of experience, and so far I've had nothing else that matches that with experience, because not only was I getting, you know, interp experience and you know, like ranger station type of experience, but I was getting maintenance experience, and I was getting like park protection experience. If you love the outdoors and you love the environment and you just value our park system, like this type of job is perfect. I love it, and there's nothing else in this world that I'd rather do. So yeah, if you feel the same way, stick around. I'm gonna do a bunch more videos on how to get into the park ranger profession, the inside tips and tricks, all that type of stuff. As I learn, I'm going to be teaching you guys. So yeah, if you're interested in that, click the subscribe button down below. Give this video a like, you know, all that. Comment if you have any specific questions and requests for future video topics that you'd like to see me talk about. And if I can do it, I'll do it. I'm really excited to kind of change my channel around. So yeah, in the meantime, definitely look at my other videos. But other than that, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!